Good evening and welcome to Newsfeed. Today is Thursday, November 14th, and I'm Brooke Adams.
And I'm Jess D'Agostino. We're excited to have you here watching with us tonight. Let's see what's happening in Ann Arbor.
Winter weather advisories have been issued for Ann Arbor this week in wake of extreme snowfall, ice, and wind. Ann Arbor has suddenly been seen harsh winter weather and has received 11 inches of snow, causing difficulties for students across campus. According to Click on Detroit, Ann Arbor received, quote, the highest recorded snowfall in Metro Detroit across 6 countries, end quote. Temperatures have ranged from the single digits to the low 30s, and drivers in particular are being advised to be cautious, as the roads have seen ice as well as snow.
Michigan State's basketball leading point guard, Cassie Winston, lost his brother to a train collision on Saturday, November 9th. Reports say that Zachary Winston was, quote, hit by a westbound Amtrak train in Albion, Michigan after 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, end quote. Tom Izzo, the Michigan State basketball team's head coach, heard about the news and quickly went to comfort Winston and his family. However, not only did Michigan State show support, but Juwan Howard, University of Michigan's basketball head coach, made an effort to connect the basketball community regardless of the rivalry. Howard said, quote, I want to give a prayer and condolences to Cassie Winston and his family. I know he lost his brother. I know his family is going through a tough time. Prayers for Cassius and his family to get through this tough time, end quote. Even in the face of this tragedy, Cassius persevered. He started for Michigan State the next day, and as Izzo stated, we're going to play with a broken heart, but we're going to play, end quote.
On Tuesday, November 12th, a panel discussed the political and social issues faced by the LGBTQ veterans. Business graduate student and captain Michelle Yee, junior dentistry student and staff surgeon Lacey Jones, and LSA senior and specialist Neko Fanning all participated in the panel. Panelists discussed how important it was for classroom settings to be inclusive and supportive. Jones said that students at the University of Michigan Dental School wear rainbow stickers on their badges to help patients feel comfortable. Jones said, quote, I would like to see a safe space for individuals that may be struggling with any form of spirituality and accepting the identity, end quote. Fanning also mentioned that the Ann Arbor Veterans Affairs healthcare system is welcoming LGBTQ veterans. Fanning stated, quote, hypermasculinity is an issue in the military as it is a predominantly male, end quote.
Now it's time for a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
What this place needs is better graduation rates.
What this place needs is less childhood obesity.
What this place needs is free help with taxes.
What this place needs is healthy breakfast.
What this place needs is fitness programs for kids.
What this place needs is early readers.
What this place needs is mentors for teens.
What this place needs is people to join us. What this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to the show. You are watching Newsfeed. Let's continue with our local news. The blood battle between the University of Michigan and Ohio State University has been heating up since it kicked off on October 30th. This blood battle has been a tradition since 1982. Both universities have a goal of 2,000 donations, but University of Michigan is in the lead with 982 donations, and Ohio State University with 667. This places University of Michigan in first place with 49% of the goal and Ohio State with 33%. Although we are leading now, the blood battle doesn't end until November 27th, so make sure to help secure our win by donating. To find more information about donating, visit bloodbattle.org.
On November 13th, the state Senate approved an end to deer baiting, a controversial and currently banned hunting practice in Michigan. House Bill 4687, sponsored by Manton Representative Michelle Hotenga, advanced through the Senate today in a 21-14 vote. Representative Hotenga told WOOD TV, quote, "Baiting is a method that hunters have relied on for generations," end quote. The original goal of the ban was to reduce the spread of chronic wasting disease, but Representative Hotenga states that there is no link between the disease and deer baiting. The ban will not be lifted in time for this year's hunting season, as the House of Representatives must view it again before sending it over to the Governor Gretchen Whitmer for approval. The House is currently on recess. Deer baiting has been banned on and off in Michigan throughout the years, with this ban put into effect in 2018 by the Natural Resources Commission. The end of the ban only applies to baits smaller than the size of a sugar beet.
America's Got Talent auditions are coming to Michigan. In order to recruit for their 15th season, the NBC show is holding auditions in Novi, Michigan at the Suburban Showplace on January 21st, 2020. Auditions are also taking place in New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Dallas, and more, but Detroit is the only Midwest city. Last year in season 14, the runner-up was the Detroit Youth Choir, so America's Got Talent will hopefully find some more Michigan talent for season 15. The Detroit Youth Choir received the Spirit of Detroit Award from the Detroit City Council after their second place win.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some national and international news.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Oh my gosh, we only have a minute to get to class.
What? Well, alright, I need to go get some water from the vending machine.
I'm gonna be eco-friendly and fill up my water bottle.
Well, I guess I'll see you in class.
All right. So fresh.
Ah, come on, I just need to get to class.
Welcome back to Newsfeed. Now let's get into our national and international news. After weeks of information being kept under wraps, the Trump impeachment investigation has officially entered the public with its first hearing before the House Intelligence Committee. Acting Ambassador to the Ukraine, William B. Taylor Jr. testified regarding the phone call between U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, and President Trump. A member of Taylor's staff allegedly overheard Trump asking about, quote, the investigations, end quote. The duration of the call, the investigation is in question, said to be about former Vice President Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. Trump did not recall a phone call of this sort with Sondland. In response to the first public hearing, Trump said, quote, "I hear it's a joke. I haven't watched for 1 minute because I've been with the president of Turkey, which is more important as far as I'm concerned. This is a sham and it shouldn't be allowed," end quote. The House Intelligence Committee declined Republican efforts to subpoena the whistleblower for closed-door testimony. Republican Representative Michael Conaway introduced this motion saying, quote, "We need to hear from the whistleblower. We need to speak his motives," end quote. Stay tuned for more to come on impeachment, especially now that the door has been opened to the public.
Juul, the company responsible for manufacturing vaping products and flavored e-cigarettes, has announced it will be cutting 650 jobs, or 60% of its workforce, by next year. This move comes as Juul has faced backlash for marketing to teens and creating a vaping epidemic amongst underage users. The job cut is aimed at helping to reduce nearly $1 billion in costs as the company anticipates a ban by the Trump administration against e-cigarettes. In September, Juul announced it would halt all product advertising in the U.S. and only directly advertise to smokers. In addition to cutting jobs, Juul announced this week that they will stop selling the pod flavor Mint, which is the most popular flavor among teens and is responsible for about 70% of Juul's sales. Juul is now only selling menthol and tobacco-flavored pods in an effort to reduce teen vaping use and addiction. All e-cigarette companies must submit applications to the Food and Drug Administration by May of 2020 to keep their products on the market.
On August 21st, 2010, 10-year-old Max Vredenberg placed a note into a bottle and threw it into the ocean off the coast of Rockport, Massachusetts. 9 years later, Vredenberg, now a sophomore at Suffolk University, received a message back. A man named G. Du Bois found the message on October 10th of this year on the southern French coast. The initial note took 9 years to cover 6,000 kilometers, according to Du Bois. 10-year-old Vredenberg's first message detailed some of his favorite things, including the beach, the color blue, and space. While Du Bois did not leave any information about himself in the letter, he did mention that he was curious about how the 19-year-old Vredenberg would respond. Vredenberg wrote on Twitter that he would keep the public posted on his future interactions with his pen pal from across the pond. We will keep you posted. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Brooke Adams.
And I'm Jess D'Agostino. And you've just been Newsfed.